Hello, 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 and welcome to the Fumyr preview. Fumyr? Who knows? I'm saying Fumyr because MYR is a creature in Magic the Gathering, and it's pronounced Mir, so I'm going to say Fumyr. Uh, this is going to be my thoughts on Fumyr. I don't know if I already said that before because my memory is roughly the length of... Anyway, this is my Fumyr thoughts. I don't know if she's going to be good or not, but we'll go over everything because obviously jumping to conclusions before a unit is even released is not good because who knows how good they will be without testing. Testing is a necessary part of all of these units. But let's stop with me talking and get into things.
Come here.
Okay. Oh, you're louder than I...
You're my new toy.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Now, let's
So,
give this spell a whirl.
First thought,
That turned out pretty nice.
she's beautiful.
What
And
should
she's
I
a mage,
cast
so
next?
Book is her best in slot. If you say otherwise, you are wrong, because there's only one mage artifact in existence, and it is Book. So expect her to constantly be running Book. Maybe something else might be slightly better. People will probably try her on a... Well, she doesn't attack on her S3, I don't think. I don't know.
Fumyr's life goal is
Anyway,
to acquire knowledge from all corners of the world. She
yeah.
has an unquenchable enthusiasm.
This is after they fixed her speed, so she's no longer 5,299 speed, which is great.
Fumyr is a 5-star
So,
ice elemental.
let's look at these stats. I don't know what any of these means, but the health looks low. The attack is fine, but I don't know that she'll be doing that much damage. Speed is Flitica range, so it's fine. Don't expect her to outspeed. I will probably be building her bulky and slightly slower, like 260 speed, much like how I did my Knockwall. She wants a lot of effectiveness because she does have some stuff that she wants to do.
She has high
But yeah, she's a mage, so
increase
both.
her effectiveness further through her
You
different
could
concentration.
ignore the part where it even talks about her artifact.
Skill 2.
So, her S2 is a passive slash an attack. Slash, not an attack, but a non-attack. Oh, God, I'm so good at words. So, at the start of Fire and Earth Elemental's allies' turns, and at the start of the caster's turn, grants Elemental Wisdom to the caster. After attacking on the caster's turn, when Elemental Wisdom is stacked to 3, consumes all to activate Fruits of Knowledge. Can only be activated once every 4 turns. That's a long time to wait. Also, well, I'll get into that once we go over what Elemental Wisdom and Fruits of Knowledge is. Elemental Wisdom increases her defense by 5%. So that can stack up to 3 times. So she will get 15% defense, which isn't bad, but it's not great. Granted by an ally other than the caster, stacks only once per element. So you need to have both a fire and an earth unit. You cannot just have her and 3 fire units. You're not going to get it. Until her second turn, at least. At least that's how I'm reading it. All of this could be wrong because I'm dumb and don't know how to interpret anything, but we will see. Fruits of Knowledge dispels all buffs from all enemies, so expect it to be resisted constantly. Has a 75 up to 100% chance to sleep for 2 turns, which I think this is the only 2 turns sleep in the game. I think all other sleeps are 1 turn. It might be the first 2 turn. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that until you quote me on that, and then at least make me sound attractive. And has a 60 up to 85% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns, which is, of course, as we all know, wonderful. Defense break, always necessary. Does she do anything against Knackle? No. No, she doesn't. She might defense breaker, but that's it. So, she wants to be on a team with an earth unit and a fire unit as well. The main issue with that is that in RTA, if they see you are drafting Fumyr, they can either ban her or ban one of the other elemental heroes, and then you have to wait until your second turn, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, that is just it. You have to wait. And also, that means you have to play an earth and a fire unit, which means you are inherently weak to units of the other type. And it also means that you will not be picking Moonlight heroes. 3 of your picks, Fumyr and 2 others, will be non-Moonlight heroes. And as we know, Moonlight heroes are oppressive and very strong. So you're kind of hindering yourself by not picking Moonlight heroes. Because RGB units should really only be picked at the end of the draft when someone else has already picked an element so that you can adjust and fight that element appropriately. Like if they 4th pick a grass unit, you could 4th and 5th pick 2 fire units, and they have to let one of them through, so you are at an inherent advantage. This is something that I could see being tweaked in the future. As it is, I do not think the base of it is fine. I think the base of it is slow and needs adjusting. Fruits of Knowledge, great, no notes. Elemental Inquiry itself on its own, very slow when you think about RTA. It will take 2 turns, more than likely, unless you somehow get through draft with both a fire and an earth elemental unit. So we'll see how that works. I don't have the highest hopes for it.
At the start of fire and earth elemental allies' turns, and at the start of the caster's turn.
Obviously, the fire and earth elementals could also be like support units, so they don't necessarily have the same downside as DPS of RGB element have. Like if you pick Landy, she can just die. If you pick Yolha, you at least have a support unit that isn't the most detrimental to your team. Something like that, if that makes sense. Sleeping is very nice. So, her skill 3, she fabricates an illusion, decreasing buff durations of the enemy by 1 turn and attacks. So this is much like, oh god, AOL, that kind of stuff. Or no, not AOL. Celilius. I don't know why I said AOL. So much like Celilius's, she just, takes away 1 turn of buff, and that's fine. And decreases their speed for 2 turns before decreasing their combat readiness by 30%. So it's essentially AOL's S1 as an S3, but instead of silence, you get speed down. And instead of being pushed back 20%, you get pushed back 30%. Successful attack deals 3,000 fixed damage when the caster is granted elemental wisdom. Fixed damage increases proportional to the number of elemental wisdom stacks up to a maximum of 9,000. So you don't really want to use her S3 immediately because it'll only do 3,000 fixed damage. And if we pop back, if she has elemental wisdom, it consumes all of it for elemental inquiry. Well, I guess since the S3 is an attack, it would proc after that. So that's fine. I'm glad they thought that through. If you can believe it, the soul burn, ignore ER. But that is just for the... Don't worry, that is just, I believe... Someone can correct me on this because I do not know. It should be just for the decreasing speed and combat readiness. I do not believe that the ignore ER goes to the defense break and the sleep as well. It might. I do not know. We will have to test it. We will have to test it, so just be patient.
3,000 fixed damage when the caster is granted elemental wisdom. Fixed damage increases proportional to the number of elemental.
So if you have 9,000 is still
9,000.
a nice sum.
When 20 soul is consumed, ignores effect resistance. Skill 1.
Maybe it does. Who knows? S1 just decreases attack for 2 turns. It's not really anything worth noting. She's not an attacker. Artifact. It's not book.
Collection of colorful gems Fumyr uses to study magic.
It's not book.
Although her
There's no point in even looking at this. None. Zero reason to look at this. Yeah, she stole from Genshin. It's wonderful, really.
At the end of every every 2 ally turns, except for the caster, increases combat readiness of the caster by up to 20%. Can only be activated once every 2
So she
turns.
gains combat
This
readiness
artifact
after
skill can
allies
only
go,
apply
but
to
she's
one
fast
hero
and kind of
ability.
wants to go first. I don't know. I guess it helps her push back up if she needs to.
Troublemaker of
I don't think
Scorn,
it's that good.
who hides
It's
her
not
inner
book.
thoughts behind a
So
smile.
it has literally almost
Players
no
will be
shot.
able to meet Fumyr through the drop rate up banner starting November
She's
16th.
very pretty, though.
Thank you.
Oh, well, she threw away that gem. I'll take it. I wish she'll throw away me. So we could watch the combat demo, but the combat demo has Litica, so I don't know how accurate this is. And they debuffed a Sululu, and they're using Vivian. So this is not... No. No. Not good. Anyway. Basically, she can be fine. In arena, she'll be okay. Regular arena. RTA, completely different matter. Because you need to have literally more than half of your draft dedicated to her. Well, technically half, because she doesn't. Obviously, if she is there, she accounts for 1/3 of her elemental wisdom. But you need to dedicate the other half of your draft, 2 of your other 4 picks, to a grass and a fire unit, of which 1 could be banned to really neuter her. It's an interesting take, but I don't know how good it will be in practice. Defense break, very nice. Sleep, very nice, especially 2-turn sleep. That is huge, but how often will she be able to use that skill is the biggest question. And I don't think it will be often, if I'm honest. I guess we can just watch the rest of the thing since it's only a minute long. But yeah, I don't know how often all of this will be relevant.
Take note for future reference.
This is what a perfect duck looks like. She just draws a duck. And it's like, oh. 2-turn sleep, I will never not say it, is huge. Oh, I was gonna say, it's a holy sack Euphine. Interesting.
I don't really enjoy this. What should I test?
I do like her design. I love her design. She's very pretty, and she has the navel window, which is so popular with children these days. Oh, hey, look, even their thing have even their combat demos have RNG in them. Nice dual attack, Aiden. Nice dual attack. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it. I think she's interesting. I think she'll have to be tweaked in the future, but she'll be fun. I do like fun units. I just don't see her potential being that strong. But if anything, she is very pretty. No, go back to no. Oh well, we'll just have to
Perpetual smile.
look at her. Thin as a board. Well, I can move it. Thin as a board, but very, very pretty. So if you don't want to pull for her, you don't have to. I don't think she's not Knackle. She's not game breaking. She's not the unit that will destroy the meta. She's not Lua. She's not Knockwall. She's not anyone really. She's just a primo gem stealing primo gem stealing pretty girl, Shadow Elf. So pull her if you want to. If not, do remember there are 2 limiteds coming up eventually at some point. Also, the group limited banner is currently up. I will be ignoring it because I do not care. But yeah, we think Akadi's sister will be limited, and we know Litica will be limited. So remember that. Do be aware of that so that you're not surprised in the future when there's a limited summon. But yeah, that's actually going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this gave you some sort of insight into Fumyr. I don't know how much my thoughts actually matter, but I'm putting them out into the ether so anyone can do with them as they please. But thank you for being the best. Ugh, I'm stuffed up. Ugh. Thank you for being the best Jonai that ever Jonai'd. And I will talk to you all on the next one. Love you.